Today we're going to go over multiple representations and different ways that you will see functions. Okay, so first thing we're going to go over is graphing a function using a table. So you might see a table here, and we're going to go ahead and have to graph that function. So the first step is you're going to choose an x value that are within the graphing window. So if I don't have x values, maybe I just have an equation and I don't have any x values pre-filled out, make sure your x value is going to be within this table. Okay, so we want 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we would want a number probably between -8 and +8, since that is as far as our window goes. Second step, you're going to find the y value by evaluating the function for each x. So when you hear evaluating the function, you're going to take the x value and put it into the function. Then you're going to graph each ordered pair. So we're going to go ahead and put a dot and graph the ordered pair where they are. And then fourth, you're going to connect the points and put the arrows on each end of the line, because the function is most likely going to keep going if it is a line and it's just not points on a graph. Okay, so if we look at number 1 here, I have y equals x plus 5. What does that mean? That means take the number -4 and put it in the equation for x. So for this one, I would have -4 plus 5. Well, putting parentheses around what was the x. So -4 plus 5 gives me 1. So my y value is 1. When -4 is my x value, I put the -4 in for the x. I do the math, and then I get the answer as the y. So now go ahead and graph that one. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left, and then up 1, there is my point. Now, second one for my graph. So I have -1, so -1 in for the x plus 5. -1 plus 5 will give me 4. Again, starting at my origin, I'm going to the left 1 because -1 is my x value, and then up 4 because 4 is +4, my y value. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's that point. Now, 0 is my x value. What is my y value? So put 0 in the equation where the x was, plus 5. So 0 plus 5 is 5. So 0 was my x value. I don't go to the left or the right. And then I go up 5 because 5 is my y value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is my y line. Oh, sorry, y. And this is an x. Now last, I have 1 is my x value. So if I put 1 in for x plus 5, 1 plus 5 gives me 6. So starting at the origin and going to the right one because it's +1 is my x. And then I go up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There. So now I have all of the table graphed. I'm going to change my color. And after I get all those points graphed, I go ahead and I can draw a line through all those points and put arrows on each end. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing with example number 2 over here. So I have x minus 1. So whatever my x value is going to go in the equation, and then the y's are going to be my answer. So -5. So I can do the math over here, -5. Put parentheses around what we insert in for x. So -5 minus 1. -5 minus 1 is -6. Here, I'm going to draw the axes on the coordinate plane a little bit darker for you so those are easier to see. Sorry, not the best drawing. So -5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then -6. So I'm going to go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's that point. Now, negative 2 minus 1. Negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3, so negative 3 would be my y value. So when x is negative 2, y is negative 3. Put a point. Now put 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. So when my x value is 2, right here over to the right, my y value is going to be 1. And last, I have 4 minus 1. 4 minus 1 is 3. So when my x value is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, my y value is 3. 1, 2, 3. So I've graphed all of those points, and now I can go ahead and connect them with a straight line, and that is graphing my function using the information from a table. Okay, I want to show you some of these examples because these are just like the examples we just did. However, it looks a little bit different. Notice I have a y equals negative x. If you remember, x always has a coefficient of 1. So what this is saying, so for number 3, y equals negative x really says take what I insert for x and times it by negative 1. So y equals negative times whatever I put in for x. Example, let's go right here with negative 3. So negative 1 times negative 3 is what that is saying. I don't have the 1, but I know it's there. I can draw the 1 if I need to. Negative 1 times negative 3. Well, a negative times a negative we know is going to be a positive. So negative 1 times 3 is just 3. Now, negative times for here, negative 1. A negative times a negative is a positive, so negative 1 times 1 would be just 1. For this x value, I have 2, so negative times 2. Well, negative 1 times 2 would make that now negative 2. And 6, negative times 6, negative 1 times 6 would end up being just negative 6. Now that I have all of my points, I can go ahead and graph them. And after I get all my points graphed, I can draw a line representing that function. Same thing over here on this example. However, just put parentheses around what we insert and put it into the equation. So we're going to have, y equals negative 2 times whatever I insert for the x value minus 4. So remember, order of operations says I have to do multiplication before I do addition or subtraction. So right here, when I have negative 5, this would just go into that spot. So it would be negative 2 times negative 5 minus 4. Negative 2 times negative 5. So negative times negative is a positive. 2 times 5 is 10. So 10 minus 4, because I'm just going to bring that down. 10 minus 4 gives me 6. So my y value would be 6. Same with negative 2. So negative 2, parentheses, negative 2 minus 4. Negative 2 times negative 2, 2 times 2 gives you positive 4, minus 4, 4 minus 4 gives you 0. Those table would be negative 2, 0. And I'm not going to, but you would just finish the rest of this out and then graph the points, draw the line like we just did. Okay, multiple representations. Functions can be represented in many ways. Common representations are tables, graphs, equation, and verbal descriptions. So, a table, an example of that, right? Here's a table, X and Y. I got the information. Graph is the graph on already all those plots pointed on a graph and drawn out. Here is an equation, so y equals x plus 2. And a verbal description is a number is 2 more than another number. So a number right here is 2 more than another number. So x plus 2 equals y. That is the equation given that verbal description. Okay, working with this multiple representation. So table's blank, graph's blank, equation is blank, but I do have a verbal description. So we're going to read this, create an equation, and work our way back. So I know that a number, I'm going to have a variable, is 5 less than, okay, so a number is 5 less than twice another number. So twice another number tells me 2x. So I have twice another number minus 5. Because a number, actually this a number would be probably be my y, is 5 less than twice another number. Now that I have that, I'm going to look at my table and go 1, 2, 3, 4. It only goes out to 6. So the numbers I'm going to pick are probably fairly simple. So let's go 0, 1, 2, 3. Easy numbers for x. I can pick my x values, but I will get to my y values once I enter that information into the equation. So my first, I picked 0. So rewrite that, y equals 2, 0 minus 5. 2 times 0 gives me 0 minus 5. Y equals negative 5. So negative 5. Now I enter 1. So 2 times 1 minus 5. 2 times 1 is 2 minus 5. 2 take away 5 will give me negative 3. So if x is 1, y is negative 3. Take 2, put it in there, so 2 times 2 minus 5. 2 times 2 gives me 4, minus 5 gives me negative 1. If x is 2, y is negative 1. And last but not least, right here, I have 3. I'm just going to put that one here. 2 times 3 minus 5. So 2 times 3 gives me 6. Take away 5. 6 take away 5 will leave me with 1. So if x is 3, y is 1. Now I graph those. So starting at 0, if my x is 0, I don't go left or I don't go right, and just negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my first point. My second point right here, I have 1, so 1 is my x value. I go to the right one, and then negative 3, so I go down. 1, 2, 3. There's that one. Next point, 2, negative 1. So starting at my origin, I go to the right 2, and then I go down 1, because my y value is negative 1. And then last one, 3, 1. So start at the origin, go to the right 3, up 1. Those are my points. And then drawing a line, connecting them through the points.